Good evening from Washington, D.C., and thank you to those of you joining us from around the world for news from a Catholic perspective. I'm Lauren Ashburn. President Donald Trump says a former campaign aide thrust into the center of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's Russia probe has already proven to be a liar. On Twitter, the president says the fake news is working overtime. As Paul Manafort's lawyer said, there was no collusion, and events mentioned took place long before he came to the campaign. Few people knew the young, low-level volunteer named George, who has already proven to be a liar. Check the Dems. Despite the tweets, today the president deflected questions on the charges. White House correspondent Mark Irons has more. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening, Lauren. The case of George Papadopoulus goes right to the central question in the investigation. Did Russia try to sway the election, and did Trump's campaign know about it? Today, during an event on tax cuts, the president would not comment.
Thank you, everybody.
Mr. President, what's your reaction to George Papadopoulus?
Thank you very much.
Your reaction to the guilty plea, Mr. President?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Questions in the White House briefing centered on the Russian probe. Former Trump campaign manager Paul Manafort is facing 12 charges, including money laundering. I spoke with a former IRS criminal investigator at Catholic University of America who says the charges are a good reminder to all Catholics.
The Catechism says that you have to be honest and that you have to pay legitimate taxes. Allegedly, Mr. Manafort didn't do that. Assuming he has done this, if he had followed the Catechism and followed the Ten Commandments, he wouldn't be in this predicament in the first place.
Manafort faces up to 80 years in prison, according to a review of the charges by the Associated Press. Professor Warren says Special Counsel Robert Mueller could use Manafort's testimony to gather evidence against the Trump administration. Professor Warren adds, once Manafort's criminal case is done, the IRS will be sending him a multi-million-dollar tax bill related to the assets he purchased in the U.S. using laundered money. Lauren.
Mark, what more can you tell us about the guilty plea filed by Papadopoulos and the potential sentence facing Manafort's longtime aide, Rick Gates?
White House spokeswoman Sarah Sanders says Papadopoulos is essentially a nobody, and he never worked on behalf of the campaign in an official capacity. His guilty plea signals he could avoid prison time as part of an apparent deal to cooperate with Mueller's team. As for Rick Gates, he faces decades in federal prison, up to 70 years, and millions of dollars in potential fines.
White House correspondent Mark Irons, thank you.